was 2005.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Like I was just saying to you boys, it could just as easily say the world's first podcast host, but I wasn't the host, and we weren't exactly first. Anyway, speaking of not coming in first, the Commanders didn't have a very good day. Welcome to whoever is watching us right now. This is the post-game show with the mashup of the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast. Anybody who's on that show, please raise your hand. All right, so there's the four of us. There's Scotty, and there's Max, and there's Jesse. Anybody on the One Point Safety Show, please raise your hand. All right, there's Scouse, and there's Scotty down there. And anybody on the bunker, please raise your hand. Okay, well, thank you very much. Andy was deciding whether or not he wanted to play along with my stupid little how to introduce everybody into the podcast there. Yeah, I guess. So we'll just start off right around the top, go around the room with first impressions of the game. Get ready for some cursing and some whining. So, Jesse, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I don't think the game is as close as anybody
wait. Where's Tony in there? Tony's
else
there.
or
And
most
our good
people
friend
think
Tony.
it was.
Sorry. Tony from Ireland. Welcome.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, guys.
I'm not in for moral victories. I thought this fucking defense is, again, can't fucking get out of a paper bag. I think we're in trouble, especially not on the offensive side of the ball. Offensive side is great. Defense is bad, and that's going to hurt us all year round.
We'll never make it. All right, Andy, what about you? Now that you've got something in your mouth.
It's normal, isn't it?
Yeah, we just call that Sunday night around here.
Right.
You know what? I thought we stuck in the game really well. I think I tweeted out, and a lot of people getting back to me now about it. I thought it was a benchmark game. I thought it's kind of like where we could be in maybe by the end of the season, maybe by this time next season. The fact that we were only a score with our defense playing that bad, and to only be a score behind, pretty much shows you how far this team's come. This game, probably this time last season or the season before, we would have lost that like 37-7 if you were lucky. So for me, I thought we played one hell of a game. We were still in it come the end, like Scott put in our group chat right before the end. Somehow we were still in it with our defense playing really bad. But this team just shows how far we've come. Really impressed with offense again. Going for it on fourth down like the way we did with Terry getting a score. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's loads that you possibly can pick holes in it, and like many people did, and like quite a few of you handed in your fan cards halfway through the third quarter. One of them being in this room with headphones on, and his name is Jesse. So you know what I mean. And I'm not even joking around now. No, I'm not even joking around. If you want to hand in your fan card, fucking hand it in and leave. Because this team is so much better than they used to be. Then it's
same problems.
Not even close.
Game in and game out, the same issues, and it's fucking irritating. This defensive coordinator is supposed to come in and change it. It's fucking bullshit.
Do you not think he has?
This game wasn't nearly as close as you guys pretend to be. It wasn't. It wasn't. They could do anything they fucking wanted to do on us.
Well, they could.
I'm sorry. I'm not giving excuses. I'm not fucking giving them excuses.
No, goddamn it, we ain't in the fucking locker room. Listen here. The bottom line is this: none of us in this room expected to win this game. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Max, your first impressions of the game. So
we gave up 30 points, but we also scored 23. The offense is there. We knew the defense needed work. Oh God, what are you doing?
It's
All
like
right.
that meme that Scott sent earlier.
John.
Jeez, you're gonna break your camera.
I don't know.
But I mean, the game is what it was. What is happening to me now?
I don't know.
All right.
You're gonna. Who knows?
Alien shit going on.
Right? I don't know. We lost the game. Great. It's
No,
what
you
we thought would
Americans, you
happen.
blame it on Donald Trump.
Watching fucking black light porn.
DDoS attack.
We're 4-2, and we're going into a stretch of our schedule that's real easy. This team isn't as bad as we think we are. We could have some overreactions from this guy, but it's okay. It's October.
all right. So we'll
Y'all are
move down
giving
around
this
the
team
circle
way
here.
too much credit.
No, we're going around for our first impressions of the game.
Oh
Tony,
my God! Then I'll tell you what. Then when we come back to the end of the season and we've won 9 or 10 games, which I hold my hands up and said we win 4 games. When you use stupid terms like we're giving this team too much credit, maybe we could go back 2 seasons when we would have probably only scored 3 points in this game or 7 points in this game. Jesse, that is probably the most stupidest take I think you've ever had in your entire fucking
Well, call me stupid. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, no.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not sucking this. I'm not sucking this team's dick anymore. I'm not doing
that. Tony, are you sucking this team's dick? Are people sucking this team's dick by feeling like this game was not that bad of a game?
Where's that god? That's exactly what y'all are fucking. Where's that fucking thing?
Wait a minute.
Where is it?
Hang
At?
on.
Where is it?
Still
at?
Tools?
That's what's going on right now. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. When they have a bad game, which they had a bad game, they couldn't stop shit. I'm going to say it. They sucked today. They were not good. They started off slow again, which is 2 games in a fucking row. And this defense is bad. Very bad. Nowhere. It's not better than it was last year.
All right, let's put some perspective.
John Allen is probably out for the season with a torn pec. That's an issue. So,
whatever. So, I mean,
so I'm not.
It's hopeless. We'll never make it. Never. We're done for.
Here we are in week 6. Anyway.
Scouse.
What?
What's your first impressions of the
wait,
game?
I called on Tony, and he's been...
Oh, sorry, Tony. Jesus.
But Jesse,
It's all right. I'm just listening to Jesse, and I kind of agree with
Tony
that.
talk.
Can you
somebody's listening to Jesse.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
Tom.
we got you.
All right. No, I kind of agree with Andy. I think, and to a certain extent, with some of what Jesse said. I think the defense.
Fucking hell, you're not actually totally agreeing all the time.
I think
Fucking
no,
hell.
I don't entirely agree with Jesse. I do to some extent. I think the defense today was exposed to some extent, but don't forget we're playing against one of the best offenses in the NFL today as well.
Correct.
The Ravens offense with Lamar and Derrick Henry. We're talking about a seriously good offense. I mean, I know the Browns offense and the Cardinals offense the past 2 weeks weren't on the same league, but the defense played pretty well in those games. But I think what we do, the defense isn't good enough yet. That's what the difference is. The offense played pretty well. The offense scored 23 points, didn't turn the ball over, and considering that, the opposition offense was going up and down the field, I actually thought we did pretty well to be as competitive as we were. But I don't think we actually. I think today just reaffirmed a few things for me. One, it reaffirmed the fact that Jaden Daniels is unbelievable. I thought he was fantastic because we had next to no ground game, obviously without B-Rob. So he came through big style. I mean, I thought Tony Romo was going to jizz a couple of times.
He did, by the way. I think the over-under that Vegas had on Tony Romo jizzing during the game was 3. And I think he got to 2. So.
Oh, at least. But yeah, look, the defense wasn't great. It got exposed a little bit, but we knew that anyway. So I think, what I didn't want to see today was Jaden get found out and the offense get found out, and that didn't happen.
Scouts, you've been very patient. Thank you. Especially since you probably really hate looking at me right now. Since I'm, what's the score of our game here, real quick, before I go?
I don't even know,
anything.
man. I thought I was doing okay.
You're doing all right. I mean, you're getting beat by 50 points, but you're doing okay.
Oh, 50. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's all right then. Yeah, fine. I'll take 50. I'll take
all right.
50.
Anyway, so
You might as well not bothered with fantasy this year.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my team, man.
Well, I do, but that's okay.
No shit.
We're not going to get into that. I want to get your opinion on the football game.
Defenders, that's what I picked.
All right, because usually you are just right of Jesse when it comes to being upset with the football team all the damn time. And Tony down there, I mean, he's not sucking any dick there, Jesse, but Tony is definitely in the camp of, well, you boys had a good fight.
St. Boast back to the way he was before.
So let's hear it. Go ahead. Saint shit.
Shit. Saint shit, yeah. Just call him Saint shit.
Saint shit.
Saint shit.
So your first impressions overall?
Shit. Defense was shocking. Offense, yeah, we did well in spurts. But turnstile while he was back to his fucking best again. Fucking let's give out some penalties for no reason again.
That was a bullshit call, by the way.
Yes, it was.
It was. Yeah, I agree with that.
If
Yeah.
it was a real penalty, it wasn't. It was given against him, so I'm still hating on the guy. So, fuck him. Fuck him. He can fucking leave.
Fuck him.
Okay, he can leave. Fucking St. Ghost can fucking just leave at the bus stop. Fucking he can walk home. Fucking
Okay.
shit.
All right. Well,
Absolute
that's
shit, man.
not that far of a walk.
Damn it, you
Okay,
took off that
Scotty, what
picture.
about you?
I would take him a day. Okay.
Oh, I
So
did?
for me, I'm kind of in, in the both sides camp. Oh, there it is.
Not fucking
Wiley.
Standard with you.
Now, see this will wind me up now because I hate fucking Wiley, man, and he played shit today. This
Dude,
before
but that
he
was
played
not a
well.
holding call on him at the
It
end.
wasn't a holding.
No
call.
way.
I'll
No
give you
way.
that.
You gotta touch him.
Was it given? Yeah. It was
He
given.
didn't play. He didn't play shit at all. He had one bad penalty called against him, and that's what.
He got Jaden smoked a few times. Trust me. Fucking watch it again. He's shit. Get him on the team.
Yeah,
Get him on the team.
Whatever.
Right. I thought, I'm in both camps here. I thought the offense was fantastic. I thought Jaden Daniels showed that he is the answer. He is an elite quarterback. That is a certainty. If you want me to suck dick,
Shit
dude.
team against the pass isn't fucking quality, to be honest. We played okay.
No, that defense actually played quite well. The Ravens defense knew what we were
Against
going to
what?
do. They played well.
Against the pass. You know,
We didn't really attempt to run the ball hardly at all. I think we had three rushing attempts in the first half. And maybe we can place some of that blame on Cliff Kingsbury or Brian Robinson being out. But
Yep.
I mean, we knew we were going to have issues running the ball against this team.
Well, I'll tell you what. Scott, were you finished with your first impressions there?
No, and then on the defensive side, I agree with you all, but it was pretty terrible. We couldn't stop anything. Zay Flowers absolutely killed us all game.
111 yards in the first half.
Yeah, it was
It's
all
the most.
Well, I got 40 of them on the second play.
The most ever of a Ravens player, which is just ridiculous. At the same time, I mean, I didn't hear Luvu's name called all game. Where was he today? It wasn't there.
Well, nobody was
And-
covering tight ends today. So I don't know.
well, yeah, Dick Hans got his touchdown, didn't he? So,
By the way,
it's-
Mark
it-
Andrews before the game. I don't want anybody knew that.
yeah.
That was
But
him coming into the stadium.
It's one of them where we've gone against what is credibly a Super Bowl team, or one that would look to go very late in the playoffs. Potentially, they've got MVP on both sides in running back and in quarterback. So to be 7 points down on this team, I'm not going to take moral high grounds or we did well, but it was okay. As Andy said, we probably would have lost this 2 seasons ago by 30 points. It is what it is.
Well, I'll tell you
We all picked this game as a loss, so I don't know why. I can understand why we're whining, but the defense was awful.
The thing is, though, you expecting us to go on a podcast straight after a game and emotions are raw. What do you expect? You're gonna fucking get me talking? Like, half of it might even be shit. But the thing is, like, fucking hatred's in there, the anger's in there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Jesse's the same. Jesse's exactly the same.
You know what I mean? So what you
Talk like
expect?
this anyway.
Look, the way I look at it is
I
this,
feel
'cause
like
I haven't even
this.
given you my first impression of the game yet. We went all the way around the room. We got beat today by a better football team, all right, which is nothing to be ashamed of, especially since it's not like we got blown out of the stadium. All right, we didn't get sent back home with our tails between our legs. But we had opportunities. There was a couple of calls in the second half of the game that went against us. The freaking bad pass interference call that set up the Mark Andrews wide the fuck open play on the next play. We had a holding call.
Was that the one
Wiley.
that was that on St. Juice? That one was.
Yeah, but it was not a. It was a bad call. It was a.
Yeah,
it was
the
a
receivers
bad foul.
fell. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. They weren't even tangled up. Their feet weren't even tangled up. St. Jude's finger was barely touching him. And then Wiley, who, thank you, Scouts, for being a big fan. Wiley got called for a holding call that was not a fucking hold.
He didn't touch him.
He didn't touch him. And I mean, Jaden, that was a play in which it gave him enough time to throw the ball. And those are the kinds of things in the second half. Now, I never say that officials beat you because you shouldn't be in that kind of position. But you should also not expect officials to be that bad.
I felt like too on the officials, John, that there was some calls that weren't called on us.
Agreed.
I think
true. That's right.
Jaden got hit a couple times that should have been a 15-yard penalty.
What did Cam Newton say that they said to him that one time? You're too young to get this call, kid. He got rolling, man, and was Hockley said, "You're too young to get that call, kid."
I think it might have been Zacchaeus that got held. Or maybe it was Noah Brown. One of those
It was
two.
Brown.
that got held, but and they missed that call too. So yeah, it seemed like the refs, and you never want to blame a game on the refs, but it seemed like the refs were on the side of the Ravens today. We didn't get those calls. We didn't get those calls today. We got those calls last week. We didn't get those calls today.
Mr. Triceps out there. By the way, Keith, I sent that. Mr. Triceps out there. Pardon my cracker that I'm eating because I'm fucking hungry.
Real quick, while you're chewing on your cracker, some breaking news.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh's questionable return with an illness. He's been taken to the locker room.
Oh no! Did he do the Joe Paterno run? I don't know if you remember that or not, but
no, he did not shit his pants.
Joe Paterno, aside from being the motherfucker that was
that was saying ghost, he shit his pants.
Caught up with the rapes and shit. But Joe Paterno, we had video of him one time running from the sidelines just before the half because he was getting ready to shit his pants. Anyway.
Yeah, this is something I got a bone to pick with John the other day. He said, "Oh, it's okay because we're not hurt. Look at this now. Baptiste is injured. Armstrong's injured. Allen's injured.
I had nothing
B-Rob
to do with
couldn't
that.
go.
I'm up there giving an old fucking tire iron up there.
You said the word.
It's an NFL season. Things are going to happen.
I get it. All right.
So the bottom line for me was we played tough with a contending team, and even though I don't like moral victories, and even though we could have done better, they did what they could. Simple as that. I'd like to know why Emmanuel Forbes was a healthy scratch. Even though
I think because they were selling out for the run. I mean, we saw that. We really saw that today, and we handled the run for the most part of the first quarter. I think.
Yeah, first quarter.
but the problem is we couldn't fucking cover a still person with a blanket. I mean, it was so fucking bad.
Yeah, why would people open all the time, like for fucking 4 hours, just to dive in there, and that was it.
Yeah, but what people need to understand is when you set up to stop the run so much and you put the extra number or numbers into the box, you're going to man. It's fairly obvious.
You got to play man. You can't play zone. We played zone. We got burnt every time we did it.
Well, they also were able in the first half to be able to do anything they wanted out on the edges. It started with that Zay Flowers screen pass where they just right up the edge, and every time they wanted the edge, they got it and they got big yards. Burrows, you've been good and quiet up there for a change. What's up? Is he awake?
Burrows.
Nothing, bro. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for your opinion, trying to keep you involved in the show.
I'm good. Yeah. Hi, I'm here. Yes, don't worry. I'm still here.
All right, cool.
No. I'm just listening. I keep forgetting I'm on this show sometimes. I'm so used to just watching you guys.
Well, thank you. I feel like in this game we had opportunities that got away from us. We got down inside the 5. We had a false start penalty. That was not good. We had a couple of opportunities I thought that we didn't take advantage of, man. We had Sanistro got that interception on the first drive, right? Put us into their territory for our first, it was only by a yard into their territory. We couldn't do anything with it. Jesse, even though I know you're ready to bite everybody's head off with it, where do you think this team goes from here?
We got to we got to do something on defense, and if we want to get better, I think we're going to need to make a move. You look at some of these teams like the Browns, maybe even Panthers defense, or somebody that is in the midst of a rebuild or about to go on a rebuild, Jaguar or something like that. Scour the fucking land for a cornerback and edge rusher. We're hurting right now on the defensive line. This game, out Baptiste, John Allen, Dorrance Armstrong. Who knows how long Armstrong's gonna be out? I think his was a ribs injury. Does anybody catch what Jean Baptiste's injury was? Does anybody know?
It's a left ankle.
Allen seems bad. That one, he had an injury earlier on in his career, pec injury, and usually pec
especially
injuries
since we were
tears.
hoping to use him as a trade bait.
Usually pec injuries or tears, and and might be out for the season. Hopefully not, but yeah, I think we got to do something on defense.
I'll tell you what,
surely
Jesse,
this is time where Johnny Newton has to step up. The others have to step up. Obada, the Ferrells, Cleveland Ferrell was back in today. They've got to step up now.
Real quick here, Jesse, you played this, and look what happened. Look what happened. In comes Keith Gray. Oh, wait. Now he's telling me he's giving me the finger. Jesse plays the cock gobbler video, and Keith comes in, and now he can't hear us. So welcome back to 3 years ago on the show when Keith never could figure out how to make it fucking work. All right. Well, while we are eagerly awaiting, he is on mute or something. He certainly isn't on good looking because Jesus Christ.
Nope, he's got to do it himself. Can you not hear us?
He
Keith?
can't hear a thing. No, we just brought him in to look like a dog at a fucking pony show. Look at him. All right. So Scouse, let me ask you this. Do you think Keith has improved at all as a podcaster? All right. Okay, so... All right, as hard as it is to do this on a game that we lost, we'll just go ahead and we'll start with Scouse because you're the first guy that ever gave me this idea. But we'll go for the man of the match. Scouse, who you got as our best player of the game? Now Keith can hear us. He's giving me the thumbs up. Fantastic. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you.
You just got to take yourself off mute.
I don't think he has anything to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually, I do.
Having your granddad on the show.
Hey, first of all,
When did you shave?
What?
Yeah, what happened?
When did you shave?
No, I got this new trimmer that. Hold on, let me fix the hat.
The Bic.
I got this new trimmer that my wife bought me, and it's got multiple settings. And so, what I thought was a number 2, which is what I typically shave with, it was a bad number 2. But it doesn't help that I got gray either. I mean, there's still hair there, but it's all gray.
Keith, that's your last name.
What, gray? No, it's not spelled the same, sir. My last name is Gray.
So
but carry on with the show, fellas.
I'm just going to make sure that everybody out there at home who's taking notes realize that Keith does have a rating system for his number 2s, and that's pretty interesting. So anyway, man of the match, Scouse, who you got?
The refs.
The refs? All right,
Yep.
That was a pretty cheesy fucking answer. Got to tell you, of all the things you could have possibly said, that one was.
What's up with this same ghost? I mean, fucking hell, like. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Actually, we're looking for, I don't even know. Can you give something positive? Jesse, we'll go with you because I know you won't give anything positive. Can you give anybody in this game a game ball just for the effort that they put out?
Sure. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, they both deserve game balls.
Well, don't take the only
that
two.
that was the only. Sorry, but he was like, can you give anybody one? Well, those two. I mean, how can you not?
Don't
Look,
ask the rest of us. We're going to pick them as well.
The offense was good, man. I think it started a little bit slow, and I want to throw a question out to the room. Past 2 games, did Jaden look a little bit kind of tentative, jumpy? I've seen that with Tampa Bay, the Browns, and the Ravens now. 3 pretty decent defenses that he goes up with. He seems to kind of start a little jumpy. Did anybody else catch that?
I don't know that it's necessarily. He's new. He's still learning. He's still seeing things that are their defenses like this. I thought that they put a lot of pressure on him. They hit him a lot today. They sacked him a lot today. And that is something I don't think he was quite used to. He's usually been able to wriggle out of that kind of stuff and make something positive
Was he
happen.
sacked twice or 3 times?
3
I think
times.
at least 3 times.
3 times?
As they said on the broadcast a number of times, the Ravens rush and the Ravens discipline in terms of where they were rushing. They weren't over rushing. They weren't going past the ball. They were keeping him in the pocket. He had nowhere to go.
They were collapsing it.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. There was no space for him to escape outside most of the time.
So I mean, Derrick Henry runs all over everybody. I'm not ashamed to have Derrick Henry run all over us. I thought that in the first quarter, we said that earlier, they stuck him pretty well. They handled him pretty well. They tackled him pretty well. It really wasn't, in my opinion, until the second half that he got going. But it wasn't enough, obviously. Andy, Max, I haven't talked to you in a while. Hey, Max, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Do you think they could have done anything differently? Why was Frankie Louvu hardly ever mentioned in the game?
I think he was hardly mentioned because he was taking on the lead blockers. Because when Scotty told me he didn't see him, I watched him for like the next drive, and every single time they'd run counter or they'd run whatever, he'd be the first in the hole and would take out the lead blocker. Problem is, no one was there after him. So Wagner was slow getting to the hole, or our safety couldn't fill it, or whatever the reason. Luvu was there to take out whoever the blocker was and set up the rest of his guys, and they just couldn't fill it.
I got another question.
Scouts looks like if the Great Pumpkin joined the Secret Service. All right, so go ahead, Jess. You had a question.
Why, if McGee is healthy, ready to go, is Walker still?
Do we know that
Still
McGee's
playing.
healthy and ready to go?
I mean, they practiced him full.
Yeah,
but
he's playing full.
He was ruled
activated.
out on Friday. That would.
Well, they said today that they were either going to activate Avada or McGee.
Why's Burrows lost it?
I don't know what he's laughing about. I'm probably getting a Keith's face.
John's
What is
pumpkin
it?
thing done me.
Oh,
Scouts is just sitting there like, you fucking swat. I'm going to
Well,
knock
you
you
know-
out next time
Oh,
I
you know-
see you. You are getting a clothesline, John. I'm telling you.
you know the best thing about it, Eddie, is that's one of those Brian Robinson big hats that he's got on. There's no more to say about it.
Oh, my God.
He's gonna
All right.
punch the shit out of you, and I'm not gonna help.
Yeah, man. There's a 300-pound man coming after you, John. Watch out,
Oh,
dude.
no, I would have never said anything
When
about
he
his
was
weight.
next to
My
me, he was
God.
very nice to me, actually. Yeah. I wonder why.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're my buddy. But, and I think you are the first person I've ever seen wear one of those Brian Robinson big hats that makes it look good. So there you go. Most people just look like they're walking around with a fucking turtle shell on their head. But you pull it off. All right, speaking of pulling things off, Max, have you got anything positive that you can say about this football team today?
We know where they are.
You know where they are. They're on their way back down 295. Right
I mean,
about now.
we know probably not yet. Come on now. No, we know where they are as a team.
Okay. So do we? Keith, where are we as a team?
We're exactly where I thought we were going to be. Jesse, I agree.
Oh,
with your
yeah, like
assessment.
you.
I agree with your assessment on Twitter about what our final wins are going to be. Look, the bottom line is that we got really excited with these wins, and that's cool. I was one of them that was excited, but what I was concerned with was the fact that what was going to happen when we started playing actual competitive teams. Tampa was a competitive playoff team.
The Bengals.
Or
Look, the Bengals,
competitive.
they've been giving up a lot of points, but you look at who they've played.
They've been trashed this whole season, though.
Look, when we play a defense, it's
yeah, right.
it's like
My
it's like I
point
was
is,
saying.
though-
Go ahead, finish, Keith.
Yeah, I guess the point that I'm just trying to make is these types of
Keith
games
never
here are
finishes.
gonna measure where we're at, and we kind of see where we're at. You can obviously 100% see where the holes are and what needs to be addressed in the off season. You kind of leave it at that, and Scouts does have a pumpkin head.
Happy Halloween,
Jesus
Scout.
Christ.
Scouts doesn't even say anything. He's just catching strays.
Just catching bullets all the time.
I couldn't even give an actual assessment. I'm staring at this man in the middle of the screen, and this is what I see.
I mean, all right. So, Tony, you're
Keith, you're gonna
orange.
get
Are you,
killed.
Keith, Tony has orange light on. Are you just being? Are you being in sympathy with Scout and his pumpkinitis? I can see Scouts. Have you ever had to wear a sheet outside and tell people that you're not
Pumpkinitis.
that you're a human being? All right, that's enough of that.
Wow.
The Elephant Man is a proud hero.
my
of the British
gosh.
nation. All right.
We're going to get cancelled.
We are going to get canceled. They
John,
tried
you
their
started
best this
this.
weekend. Now, look, we're trying to make some fun out of the football game because it really wasn't a whole lot of fun to look at, except for Terry McLaurin, who I thought really stepped up today. I thought he had a big game. What did you think? Scouts, I'll ask you something about football since I've been picking on you.
Yeah, Terry played well.
Tony,
Thank you very much.
do you want
Thank you
to
very much.
He played well. Yeah, great. Yeah.
I think
Okay, well, sorry. All right.
that's the most sense he's spoken all day.
All right. So I thought he played a heroic game, actually. Getting knocked around at the end of the game. Did you think that was a foul?
Yeah,
Anybody think that was a foul?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I mean, looking at it on the replay, it seemed like a clean hit. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think it was a clean hit. It was a hard hit. Good God.
was
It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
No, nothing at all. What was the game a couple years ago where Terry got hit like that, right? Like
Tampa.
The 5-yard line? Tampa game. All right, and then it stood up and took over. That was nice. I think the lack of a running game hurt us this week. I don't know why the offensive line had such a hard time pass blocking this week. Did you get a sense, anybody?
They were blitzing a lot.
They did. Roquan Smith was in the backfield a lot. But did we get any kind of sense that Jaden was maybe holding the ball too long?
No, I don't think so.
I thought some of his anticipatory throws were fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was saying the other day on the podcast that what I'm really worried about is putting too much on Jaden and playing complementary football. Like goes all three ways: special teams, defense, offense, and especially not having B-Rob there definitely hurt. But if we put too much on this kid, it's going to hurt us in the long run. I think. I think he can handle it, but it's going to be harder to win games, especially when you're going up against high-powered offense that has a decent defense. Now, Ravens' defense wasn't necessarily up there in the rankings, but they are a very good defense. They lost their whole defensive side of the coaching staff. Dean Pease came in this week, and you could tell a difference. You really could. They were flying.
The whole stadium smelled like urine.
Jesus, but. It's like I said, I put too much on Jaden, expecting him to go out there and win games week in and week out. I don't think is going to work.
All right, Mr. Burrows, how much did we miss B-Rob?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first, what we told today, I think it was ourselves and the Ravens had the two.
No, yeah, don't mind me.
The two best run games in the league. Sorry, Burrows, go on, mate. You go. I wasn't sure you were awake or not, pal.
No, you're good, bro. Go for it. No, I think this is. I keep telling you guys, StreamYard shit, and it really is shit.
Okay, well, thank you. That was so. Max, what did you think about Brian Robinson being out? Did you think that was big effect?
Yeah, it took away a lot of our attitude in the run game. With Eckler, we have a lot of finesse. McNichols, we have a lot
McNichols
and
runs a little.
He runs hard, but he
doesn't
runs
hard.
He doesn't like Robinson. Robinson will put his nose in there and then still run for 3 yards. It's just
Tell you what.
We didn't have
Eckler's touchdown last week where he freaking bowled over that linebacker.
We didn't have the attitude that we typically have, and Robinson's a big part of that.
All right, so Scotty, offensive line, they were getting beat to the pass. All right, they were getting beat on pass protection. Were they not able to do what they've been normally doing on run protection? Did you get a sense of that? Because obviously,
I thought Brandon Coleman played okay, but at the same time, it's difficult. Where they did come up against a high-powered defense. I don't think this defense is anywhere near as bad as these rankings make out. I thought it was a very good defense, and as you said, Pease coming in has made a difference to them this week. At the same time, it's one of them where we've come up against a good side, and Jaden couldn't get outside the pocket to make his runs, and like he normally would do to try and extend plays. He looked very good. The offensive line held up where it needed to hold up. They gave enough time to get the balls out where it was needed. I mean, Zach Ertz came alive. He would be my man of the match if I'm going to go that way. Yeah. He did really well as well. So. Yeah, it's one of them. We played a very good side and we lost by 7. I'm quite comfortable with that, especially with who we've got coming up. Very little travel. Panthers coming up. Other teams that aren't anywhere near as good as this team. So for me, it is what it is.
Tickets, you and the scouts making plans for January to come over here and watch.
Absolutely. I still think we're going to win 10 games this season. I do now.
Boy, can that kid fucking throw the ball, though. I mean,
yeah,
his accuracy is. I mean, we haven't seen that here.
I mean,
was it Ertz who took it on? Sorry, Max. Was it Ertz who took it right on the 1 yard line? Or was it Bates? I couldn't remember who it was. Whether it was Ertz or Bates. What a throw that was! What a throw, laser-like.
The throw to Noah, was it Noah Brown or OZ out at the sidelines?
Noah Brown, it was.
Brown.
Dude, that throw was perfect. There was no way anybody else was going to touch it.
When it comes to quarterbacks, and you listen to Romo, and he says, it's not just that he's accurate in terms of hitting the receiver; he's hitting the proper shoulder of the receiver.
Yeah.
Keith,
Kurt
you
Warner-esque.
good? Lions just scored.
Yeah, I know the Lions just scored.
All right. No, Keith
cool.
just does this. It's like, what are you, an umpire now?
Coach and umpire. Yeah, I like it.
He's doing curls.
Oh, Montgomery's
curls on the side.
Who's got Montgomery in our fantasy league?
Who's got
Got his kid in the corner of the room waiting for his food.
Yam's got Godwin.
Yeah, I haven't even looked. The Buccaneers
125 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Hey, whoever took the under for Mike Evans, smart on you. 34 yards.
Told you. I told you. All right, so Scouts, you are usually our resident kicker lover. So Siebert missed his first kick today. All right, now I couldn't tell if it got hit or not. I couldn't tell if it got tipped. Did it get tipped?
The replay showed it didn't.
The field goal didn't. I'm sorry, the extra point did not, but the field goal did.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
So how far was that? Like a 52-yard?
Yes.
Yeah, 50 odds, yeah.
All right. So he did hit another
What,
one.
his miss? That was a 55-yarder.
He hit a 52-yarder, didn't he?
Right, yeah. His miss was a 55, and then he responded to a 52 and made
I thought it was the other way around, 52, and he hit a 55.
It was 50s.
It was in the
50s. Yeah, there you go. Even
Either
so,
way,
that's really
50s.
hard as a kicker. That's really, really hard to do that. To get you get in a position where you're in the 50-yard range. It's like, come on, it's hard to kick, and he did well. I thought he had another good game.
That's very good there, Scott. Thank you. We'll put this down in the big book of football laws, is that it's hard to kick field goals over 50 yards. Now, the question I have for you, Scouts, is he missed a kick, dude. Are you still in on this guy, or are you ready to throw him out?
I'm okay. I'm okay with
for
him.
Scouts.
I was told him until today, so
All right. So give me your talk about the offensive line. Since you hate Wiley, right? He had a penalty. Did you think that was a penalty?
No, it wasn't a penalty, but it was given. So
Yeah.
I still blame him. So it's what
All
it
right.
is.
It is what it is.
It's ridiculous.
Tony's very quiet at the bottom there.
Tony's quiet. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna flip a coin out there. There's Scouts with his fucking Wiley I'm #1 fan hat on. That's nice. All right. So does anybody have anything else they want to add to this, post game show that they have felt that they haven't gotten quite out there yet? Burrows, Tony.
I was going to agree. I was going to agree with Scott actually. There's outside of Daniels and McLaurin, I thought that Ertz was probably our best player, certainly offensively.
Oh yeah, we got to get 2 man of the matches. All right. So
I didn't see his stats, but he had 3 or 4 pretty key.
It
It's
would
the
have
old
been nice.
it's the old saying about a tight end, being a young quarterback's best friend, because he's always there. Ertz, he's not quite the player he was 4 or 5 years ago, obviously, but he's still a pretty solid tight end. So I think he had a pretty good game today.
I would have liked to see him get more involved in the first half. But all right, so Scotty, you're in for Ertz as man of the match. Tony, you're in for Ertz as man of the match. Kaus, who did you say?
The refs.
The refs, that's right. All right, so Keith, down there, we'll go to you. Who do you have for man of the match?
I have no idea what this even is.
Oh,
You
it's
gotta
the best
explain it
player
to
of the
me.
fucking game, the player of the game. Sorry, we're talking to our British audience over there because
MVP.
Yeah, MVP of the game.
I mean, there's so many people here. I'm assuming that they're going to say the same thing I would, which
Doesn't
is
matter.
Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels. I mean, it's really
It's
what it boils
one
down
man, Keith.
to. Oh,
Keith has never been
Sorry.
satisfied with one man. You ought to know that.
I like multiple
Facts.
men. I don't know what to say. All right, one man, Jaden Daniels once again.
Andy Burrows.
There you go. By the way, I would like to point out that Mrs. Hartley did indeed enjoy this. It sounds horrible, but she was asking about that video.
Yes, that was
watch,
not my wife. That was my mother who was watching that on TV
That is Mrs.
downstairs, and she is Mrs. Hartley, the real boss of the family.
That's
She went, "You lot swear an awful lot on that podcast, don't you?" Yes, we do. Mother.
At least we get to watch Daniel Jones tonight.
Yeah, 69, ready, hot.
We do. We get Daniel Jones in a national TV football game tonight. Holy shit.
I'm going to bed.
All right, so we're going to go up to Burrows. Burrows, who's your man of the match? Apparently,
Terry.
Mr. Tequila.
Easy.
Terry.
Tyler.
All right, Max, how about you?
Terry McLaurin.
Me too. That's my guy of the match is Terry McLaurin. I thought he had a gutty game. Jesse, what about you? Anybody?
Yeah, Wiley. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Give it to
refs.
Wiley. Fuck it. You
Yeah,
know,
he
names
got
I
screwed
didn't
over
hear
by the
today
refs.
in a negative way, even though the defense was bad. I didn't hear Noah I's name in a negative way. I saw St. Juice getting blown out all over the damn place.
Sam still had a good game. Sam
still
still had a
got
good game.
Dude, he got that first pick, man. We just couldn't do anything with it. All right, so here's the deal. That's the end of this show, and thank you for everybody that tuned in to watch us sit here and fuck around and make stupid jokes about Scouts' head. We appreciate that, and we appreciate you too, Scouts. We really do love you. And the fact of the matter is we will all be back again, except for maybe Keith and Tony and Andy and Scouts and God, who else knows who else? This is like a zoo that we do this on Sunday afternoons. But tomorrow at 5:30 is the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. is the Bunker Podcast. We will all be, pretty much listening to Jesse cuss and holler and scream while we try to cope with all the fucking negativity that he's going to drop on us all the damn time.
Black cloud incoming.
Here it comes.
It's hopeless. We'll never make it. Never. We're done for.
The Jesse cartoon. All right, so and then the 1 Point Safety Show, they will listen to what we all have to say, and then they'll just regurgitate that on Thursday afternoons at 3 o'clock. So,
absolutely right. Thing is, though, we get to preview. We get to preview before you lot do, so that's all good. Yeah,
hey, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm riding on y'all's coattails because believe you me, I know somebody's got some big ones, and y'all do call in some show. And hey, anything that I can do to just stand around and pick up the trash that Andy Burroughs leaves behind, I'm happy to do.
All right, I got to go make steaks. See y'all later.
All right, he's going to go make steaks, which means he's going to go eat meat, which is a code word. We're not going to say anything.
How many times?
How many times? As many times as I can. All right, then. So until the next time that we see everybody, ta-ta. Let me play some music and say we're out of here. We're out of here.